Hi guys, welcome. Scatlink here, and we're off for another What's in the Treasure Chest. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and approaching to a happy new year. It probably will be when I get this video out because our work doesn't stop. Except for Christmas or whatever days I do have off. Although I did have Boxing Day off, you know, it gets very busy, so there's a lot of stuff that actually needs doing. And my hoodie, branded hoodie, which you can buy, by the way, on Companderman's channel. But anyways, it's been a crazy year, to say the least. Not wanting to always mention it, as it seems to be a running thing the past few years, politics and all that. But, the cost of living crisis feels a bit of a pain in the arse, and, well, it was. Now it's cheaper, and yet everything is still rising. I'm doing alright, though, so I can't complain too much. Pay my rent, keeping bills, have the money coming in, and, you know, I try to keep on doing what I was doing. But when it comes to the channel, I'm not going to be talking about that until another update video because there was a lot. I haven't really had an update video other than Kingdom Hearts, talking about Kingdom Hearts 4 with the reveal as well as Missing Link, and the last episode of Dark Road, which has now been done, which I have 100%, by the way. I did all the grinding. Literally left my old phone, because it had to be my old phone, it didn't move the save data over to my new one, for about 3 months, just grinding, checking it every so often, just to max out my level. That was the only thing I needed to do. But I've 100%ed that now, so just waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4. But enough about that. What we're here for is for an unboxing. A big old unboxing, because that's what we do. And I would have had another unboxing video throughout the year of Shadow Man Remastered, because they're doing box editions. Problem being is that limited run games haven't released it yet because Night Dive Studios were taking the time on the latest update, which is now public. There is another boss. We'll cover it when as like the little footage part of the unboxing, when I get it. So when I get it, the unboxing won't be done immediately. I'll be recording that, but that's just one bonus video. We've got that to talk about near the end of this video, right on this part, so, you know. But before we even get to that, let's dive right in. And I think you know what's happening. 'Tis the season to be following tradition. Fa la 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 la. Alejandro gave me the next edition, volume 10, and would you believe, if I just go to the very final page here real quick, yes, you do read them backwards, there you are, that's all I'm showing. Yeah, that looks like just after the Ganon boss fight, so that means you still have the horseback battle and then the final clash, which means this isn't the final issue. They split it into another one, so that means you now have potentially 11 volumes, and we now have just as many Twilight Princess as the actual box set from the same authors. And not only that, there's going to be another one. But it'll be a bit weird if it finished on 11. I have a theory with volume 11, we will have the final part of the final battle, and maybe wrapping things up with Midna and all that, as you know, at the end of the game. Not really spoilers, I did it on my own channel almost 10 years ago at this point. We're approaching that. I've got to think of something. But maybe, because you see a lot of scenes of like the children making their way back to Auden Village, and then Link heads back there. Maybe we'll see some other stuff. Maybe they'll elaborate on, wrap things up in a 12th volume, maybe. So when they said that last year, or was it around my birthday, I forget, it's coming to the end, they're dragging it out. Like, you've already got 10 volumes. Like, that's not enough to work with. This is Twilight Princess. We've talked about this before. But it's kind of like gone in like a reverse tradition now, because now I'm getting Stella the Spy Family manga. But we're not done with Stella's family, because her own mother gave something to me, which I was not expecting. Now, this seems to be becoming a bit of a tradition since last year I got a bag of Links, two deodorant and one shower gel, my bad. Now I've got a box of Dove. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this. You got Dove Men Care and the shower gel and the deodorant, and they're both Clean Comfort smell. It's cool. Awesome little duo box gift set. They're the full size ones, 250 of the shower gel. Is that the shower gel? Yes, and then the antiperspirant deodorant, 150 full size. So it's not bad. Very nifty little box. Nice easy to wrap, more than a bag, because that was very annoying to wrap. But yeah, you can imagine that was a bit of a pain. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that, so thank you very much. Alright, I know that you guys are after games. I'm a gamer, we're gamers, this is a gaming channel. That's what we focus with. So, this is something that we're actually going to be covering on the Nerd Herd, basically be one of my Let's Plays, because it's going to be full, similar to PokeMMO, because we have Pokemon Scarlet. Everyone knows what's going on with these. They were rushed. They didn't have the bug testing, despite actually having bug testers. At least the game works from start to finish, but it's a buggy mess, apparently. It's not very stable. It's got very janky ways of evolving Pokemon. Like, I haven't actually seen many of the trailers, so I'm going into this quite blind, but I do know a few things. Like, I know that Shady Penguin is a professor, and then you have Mrs. Unga Bunga as the other professor. It depends on which of the games you're playing. I've got the dinosaur that has wheels but actually uses his hands, so that's awkward. But I wanted Scarlet because it reminds me of Urza Scarlet. I tend to main with the blue games, and if not, I tend to main with the red games, and I went with Sun. So if there is not a blue and there's a violet, of course, because that's what Stella's favourite colour is, it's purple, I went with Scarlet. The new Gen 1 of the series, I might add. But yes, the reason why I mentioned PokeMMO, because we're still going on about that. Again, I'll talk about that at the end of this video. There'll be a timestamp. This is basically going to be something that we're going to be doing on the Nerd Herd, and that's going to be pretty fun. Because it involves online multiplayer during exploration. PokeMMO, you get to journey with your mates. Yes, they're doing their own thing with their own progression, but you can interact with them and see them and go on a journey together up to 4 players. It's not MMO level, but it's something. But considering how buggy and unstable that it is, because that seems to be like the negativity that's surrounding this game, to be fair, Pokemon Company or Game Freak need to, you know, do something about that. Like, they weren't even going online with the anime anymore. Like, if you've seen, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's kind of hit a roadblock, and even then, journeys didn't really follow the story of the game. In fact, the next season of the anime is, so there wasn't really a rush. You couldn't take a bit more time. Of course, you can patch the game. Yes, you can release DLC and charge people for extra content, but just like, this has still got like the Nintendo seal of quality. It's like pretty much a Nintendo exclusive. This doesn't look good on Nintendo's PR, you know? Like, their creed is basically like, if a game's not ready, we're not gonna rush it. Except for the fact that you release the Mario Golf game and the Mario Tennis game, and even the Mario Football Strikers game, and you don't have Waluigi. Like, he was in the previous games, and then they're like releasing the characters as you go, and like they're saying, oh, it's free updates, you're getting more content, and it's like, that stuff should have already been in there. It's like you chucked the game out early for a holiday season, and then you're just finishing it up as it's going, and I don't like that. I mean, how long did it take for Switch Sports, which is another HD remake that's not a subscription service, of Wii Sports HD, or Wii U Sports, which is an HD remake of Wii Sports, which you can play on your Wii U anyway, to get golf? That should have already been there. That was there. You removed it, and it took you that long to HDify it. I'm pretty sure it's the same courses. Tangent aside with buggy and early release messes that they try to fix as they go, I'm not exactly a fan of the standard of updating games to fix problems that should have been sorted from the get-go, and no amount of patching is going to do anything with this game, because like the textures are already in here. Like, you could probably release an update for textures, but imagine the size of the download at that point. You might as well just download the game, which obviously people, especially with Pokemon games, probably don't want to, because then they can put it in another Switch, they can start another file, and even then, if they have 2 Switches, they can trade with those 2 files, because it's actually good to get physical Pokemon games now more than ever because of that reason. So Pokemon Stew has its place as physical media, and of course, like I showed last time, they have little leaflets of showing some stuff. Like all the games, oh my god, you can't see because of my light, but yeah, all the games that are on Switch right now. If you want to focus, that would be amazing, camera. Like, there you go. And I think you can get like a flying Pikachu with what's the bloody effect called? Terastallation, I think it's called. Its Terra type is flying, so it's fly, it's stab. But yes, Pokemon Scarlet, that's what we are going to be doing, definitely, which I will elaborate more in the separate update video. So let's get moving, because we've spent enough time on that ranting about other things that, you know, kind of like, you know, sully Nintendo's gaming quality name in the dirt, because we have something a little bit more on the ed.
Ooh, how exciting! This is great!
Yeah. That's right, we have a game of Ed, Edd and Eddy. You know me, I use the sound effects. You know a lot of people that use sound effects. Ed, Edd and Eddy is a classic, and honestly, I will admit, the graphics of this game are pretty ugly. However, never played an Ed, Edd and Eddy game before. The only other option was on the GBA, and this actually has the voice acting from the actual Eds, which is pretty cool. And, you know, it just intrigued me, and it's like a collectathon in some manner. You literally play as the Eds, and you just scam the kids of the cul-de-sac like you would do in the show. So it's like playing the show, not actual episodes, because it'll just be beat for beat, then you wouldn't have a lot of control. But, you know, this is pretty cool. I wanted to have a go at it, and I'm probably going to do it as a blind Let's Play, because I want to share my thoughts on it. I have to, like, show it on the channel at least, and I think that'll be a pretty fun time, just blasting through, just recording it, you just hear my reactions. Don't think I'll do it live, I'm debating on that, but I'm kind of, if I do it live, I tend to take a lot longer because I don't stream a lot. It would get me to stream a bit more, but I've got other stuff to stream, which I will once again get into later on. We're not done with games though, and I have mentioned before that I don't tend to cover digital games unless I have a specific reason for them, like mainly because if I was thinking of buying them myself and someone got it for me, or then I probably wouldn't mention it, because with digital downloads, it's not physical. I can't actually unbox it, but this is a special case because one of these games actually does have a physical edition. There's a cup on my head. Enough said. Alright, to elaborate, it's actually Cuphead, alright? It's like, I got Cuphead Deal with the Devil. I've been debating for ages if I wanted to buy it. I've played multiplayer, like co-op multiplayer with Meza quite a few times on his Switch, but I've never actually got it myself, and I always debate on doing it. I've always watched Tear of Grace play the game, and a few others as well, Jacksepticeye, I think, Markiplier as well. Never actually sat down, bought the game, and played it myself, but Monospace, Space Kitsune, Merc's blog, man of many names, as you'll know him on the Nerd Herd, I gifted him Psychonauts 2, and he gifted me not only Deal with the Devil, but the Delicious Last Course as well, the DLC, get it? Delicious Last Course DLC, that's pretty cool. And yeah, hand-drawn animation, like, it's like you're playing an old cartoon game. Funnily how I mentioned Ed, Edd and Eddy, yes, it's 3D graphics, and the 3D graphics are not pleasant to look at, which is why I didn't use them for the thumbnail, which we'll see later on in the update video that I've got up. But yeah, the amount of effort that they put into this, and then they did more. The only thing that I'm not a fan of, even though the Netflix show is actually really funny, I've watched a lot of clips, a couple of episodes myself, but because the devil just cracks me up. But it's not the same style as it is in the game. I know that they might have like modernized it a little, so it's like easier to animate, and it's probably not hand-drawn, which I think loses a bit of charm to it, but at the same time, the animated show is actually really good, and the game, you just gotta admire the quality. And now I can play it myself. They do actually have a physical version of the game now, coming out soon. My only gripe is that they don't include a Cuphead or Mugman mug. It's mini eggs, because I like mini eggs. But that's not all, because Connor Meza, as I was mentioning him earlier about playing Cuphead, gifted me this.
Nice.
Ah, there we are. Omori. Now, I've seen some artwork and also some comparisons to Omori. I mean, I think Meza mentioned something about something in the lines of One Shot, as well as Undertale. So that intrigues me, and I'm going to have to get to it at some point. I'll probably be played in my own time, honestly, because I'm not too sure what it's about. But I think it involves this gloomy kid, which is on the cover, but I'll find the correct image to show. But yeah, never thought about playing it. It was just a nice surprise. Literally did not see it coming, and so I'm gonna have to try it out. Like, there's not much else I can say other than that. But you know, I've mentioned it. So, possibility of doing it on the Nerdhood blind? I don't know. I've actually got other plans to do stuff on the Nerdhood blind, and as I've mentioned already, we're doing this. So. You get what I mean. That's it for the games, but we do have one piece of memorabilia that, ironically enough, I was there for. I saw it. I knew that Scatlink brought it. Completely forgot about it twice, and it still made me think. It's a box. At Comic-Con in 2022, October, where I went as this guy again before he unfortunately passed away. I do have a tribute video. Please click this link here in order to go watch it. I do have my... I mean, he's out of frame. Well, he's in a frame, but not in the frame of the webcam. Like, frickin', there you go. He's in frame now. Anyways, not to dwell on that too much, even though, you know, we are all feeling the pinch as Power Ranger fans, but this has got nothing to do with Power Rangers. In fact, the person who served us was Arnold Rimmer from Red Wolf. Not actually, but it's the store clerk, the dude manning the stand actually was dressed like Arnold Rimmer. I've got a picture of him up here. But he was selling dioramas, and I pointed out to Scatlink because my uncle, my dad, likes anything Back to the Future. So what did I find but a diorama of the front page of the Grey Sports Almanac? And even though I was, like I said, I was there when she brought it, but I completely forgot about it, was a diorama, a 3D diorama of all the characters in the Great Hall of Undertale. It just doesn't end, does it? It's not like I haven't got a poster here, another poster where I can't put anywhere around. I've got my 3D Ace labelled. I've got another video about that. Click up here once again. And of course we have our Let's Play and the amount of different stuff that we've shown off, like the plushies and all that. When I put it up here, I'll probably just link to the entire playlist of bonuses because the amount of bonuses that we've done. But there we are, another unboxing, Undertale, look at it. But yeah, it's actually like very thick, very sturdy, and you can prop it up, you can hang it up with these prongs. That one's on center. But yeah, I'll just get that in the frame for you so you can actually see the detail of that. It's pretty freaking awesome, if I do say so myself. And again, I was basically saying don't get it for me because they had a link to the past one as well. They had Chrono Trigger, they had other different games and stuff, Mario and Metroid, and I was just like, you don't have to get me anything. I think they even had a Cuphead one, actually. But, of course, she had to get it. And I said to her, I'll probably forget. And no word of a lie, I completely forgot twice. She reminded me twice. Which I don't know why she did. But, yeah, I'm going to put that back in the box for now, because I don't actually have anywhere to put it. But I will find a place. And considering how thick it is, I don't exactly feel comfortable hanging it on the wall, unless I have a very thick, like, nail, but then I would dangle it on a piece of very solidified string or something. But personally, I'd prop it up on a desk, maybe on my windowsill. I'm not too sure. That's something I'm just going to have to think about for later. I'll put this in front of me here. But yes, that is it for all the games, or anything game related. That's basically it. So, just having a look at my timer here. I've got to cut this down quite a bit. We now have just a few small bits. Now, the story of this little thing is a bit interesting. Look at the pot. This was wrapped up like this, and I was feeling around, and I was like, this feels like a sauce pot, and it kind of does, but whatever was in there was wrapped in paper. So when I popped the pot and got it out of it, I've got like a small little like rock skull. Well, it did go into focus for a minute, but then it like kind of stopped itself. I got like Shadow Man vibes, obviously. Could you focus? What is wrong with this camera today? I fixed the frame rate, but now it doesn't want to focus. I did not turn autofocus off. Focus, you moron! There we go, finally! Yeah, you can see that it's like a rock like skull. I'm trying to keep it in the middle of the frame without losing focus, which now has lost focus, god damn it. But yeah, it's got like what I thought were little blood splatters on it there. You can actually see it properly in the light at least. And I think it was like malachite or something? I don't know. Scatlink will say in the comments on what this is, because she knows all about gems, and I actually forgot to ask her when she came down on Boxing Day. I liked it, mainly because it did look like a decrepit skull, and like this colour pattern looks like it's just got like dried congealed blood on it. It looked pretty awesome, and it was in like in this gem store that's in our opposite my favourite cafe in town, actually. And yeah. Oh wow, it focused immediately that time. What the heckles? that is just a little thing that my mum just kind of got me out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting it, and I was in the store with her. Yeah, but I've been on a Shadow Man kick recently, haven't I? Which is something else that I want to talk about later on. Again, other update video. I keep mentioning that. That's why I like to have an update segment at the end of these videos, but I don't want it to go too long, and there's a lot more to talk about, so I split up what we're currently doing, and then what I've got planned going forward. That's the update. Anyways, we only have one last one, and I mean, if I just rotate this chair for a moment, you can see that there's like a sack behind me right there. Little Santa sack filled with sweets. So many sweets that I can't actually fit up there with my boxes like I usually do. Just haven't met them ready. I'm probably going to have to get like a hero's pot and just keep them in there or something and just keep it up there for easy convenience, because that sack's got to go back up in the attic at some point. But this was only wrapped up separately as more of a joke present, and because my brother went out of his way to actually get this, I think it was pretty funny. This is not legal tender. Yeah, it's a £50 Bank of Lapland Santa Claus £50 chocolate bar kind of thing. It's actually kind of funny as well, because they like go all out on the back here. If the lighting doesn't want to... I think as I turned off the... There we are, focus actually helps. This is the bit I wanted to focus on. Ledger, Santa's Workshop, Bank of Lapland, Santa Claus, Father Christmas. Like an actual banknote and all that. Like, what's going on with that? But yeah, just like a little novelty chocolate bar. Like, I know on Amazon, like, you could get these chocolate bar wraps, and it just says, like, rude words on there. Chopped up from other official brand name logos to make a rude word, but this one's just like in a different caliber. It's literally just packaged like that, and I don't even know what the chocolate is. I'm guessing it's just its own thing, because it doesn't seem to say what kind of brand it is. It just gives you the ingredients. But yes, that is it for what's in the treasure chest. Nothing in there like I need to show that, because some things are a bit too big to fit in here, like the PS3 or the Master Sword. So yes, let's get into what we have still got currently going on.
What are you two gonna do?
First of all, I'm gonna state something that's quite obvious, because it never seems to want to bloody end. And time! I've got Vanessa's Curse up here because it's actually relevant, because there's a winter event going on. Now, if you remember, right after I finished up with the Vanessa's Curse stuff, I immediately went to covering all the stickers, which included an exclusive foil sticker, which was only available during the 5th anniversary event, and once that passed, you couldn't get that particular foil again unless you brought it off the market if someone else who got it is willing to sell it. So, luckily I have one of them, but that's something that you could have permanently missed, but it's tied to your Steam account, so it's not too big of a problem. All foil stickers tend to be like that. But this event, the Winter 2022 event, adds 5 Death Wish candles. I mean, when I heard there was 5 Death Wishes, they didn't specify it was candles. I was like, really? That's what you have to give us for Christmas? Death Wishes? Which, by the way, you can only use if you have DLC 1, but they're online party specific, so you also need either DLC 2 or Vanessa's Curse, which out of the two, Vanessa's Curse is obviously the better one, because yes, you don't have the additional content, but 1, it's cheaper, 2, it's online party, 3, it's a mode that uses online party. And these Death Wishes in particular, actually one of them, which blocks another one, needs Vanessa's Curse, because you actually have to do 5 wins, or see 5 wins while playing the game, as Vanessa's Puppet wins or Snatcher Minion wins. I forgot about it, what it was called then. But yeah, you basically need DLC 1 in order to even have access to these 5 candles, which, by the way, you have 13, not 15, 13 stamps. One candle only gives you 1 stamp, the others give you 3. So you have an additional 13 stamps to get, which, by the way, affects your percentage, because when I booted up my game, I was down to 109% again. And there's more stickers! There is 1 sticker for each of the candles, and you get to keep the stickers once the event ends at March 23rd, 2023. So technically, this means I don't need to cover these Death Wishes, because they would be gone, but because you keep the stickers, I still need to do it, and unless you turn off events, because there's an option to turn off the events now, you will miss out on these 5 stickers, which means there's 5 more stickers to collect, which means they just will not stop with the goddamn stickers. I sound annoyed. This is still my favourite game, one of my favourite games of all time, and I like to play it, and Vanessa's Curse is a really great mode. The thing is that I don't need more stickers. I don't want more death wishes. Why do you do this to me? This is annoying. It's a very small thing, really, because it just gives me an excuse to do another Vanessa's Curse stream, which I will have coming up at some point, so I can edit all that in. It'll be heavily cut down because I don't need to show a lot of Vanessa's Curse stuff again. It's just getting the death wishes done to get those 13 stamps, to get myself to 110% again for at least March, and then I'll have those 5 stickers, which are exclusive to this event. You cannot get them anywhere else. And if you don't do the death wishes, you lose out on the stickers. So I'm going to have to get these stickers. Just like that hollow sticker with the special effect during the 5th anniversary event. At least that was a good time to cover the stickers, because these stickers are just 5 standard stickers. They're not holified. They are tied to your file, not to your Steam inventory. So you need to do them on the file. I've got my own personal one because I had to practice them. I did them in the night, except for one, because one candle mission, the one that's the lone one that gives you the 1 stamp, literally says that you have to slap a Steam friend on an online party. I had to contact Mezza and ask him if I could slap him up. Speaking of things, that doesn't seem to end, because once it hits probably next February or March at least, because when I started editing the videos they came out then, is that 2 years going, because of everyone's schedules and how big it became for its comeback in terms of a group project sort of thing. PokeMMO. Now, I haven't edited the videos yet, but we just did, on my end at least, semi-final stream of the main story. Of course, the project technically ends after we beat the main story, and the rest are bonus episodes, and they basically going to be R, because we've done everything possible up to this point. The only reason why I went to the Sevi Islands is for Moltres, and then I just wrapped up the plot line that was there, because in the original games you can't fly back to the mainland or leave until you actually do that, so I covered that as well. Again, that hasn't been uploaded yet, that's been edited, but you can watch Kazu's version of events on the Nerd Herd channel, because that's been archived now. But we are at the league. Most of us are at the league. Other people are either grinding, or they just need a little bit more to get there. Just get through Victory Road, but that's a bunch of trainers. That's the rival battle right after Giovanni, just to get up there. So once everyone is at the league, that's the final stream, and that will be happening. That will be happening next year. We will finally have this stain cleared off the channel since its beginning. It's only taken this long. And we're finally there. Like, it's literally just, if I could just hit live and go right now, because I've done my grinding, but I'm not going to go ahead until everyone that wants to be ready is ready. So that's going to be amazing. We're all just going to charge in, and the league works a little bit differently than it does in normal Pokemon games. It's treated like a Colosseum in Pokemon Colosseum. Every battle, you get fully healed. So you don't actually need to stock up on revives or potions or full restores, full heals, what have you, in between each battle, so you're prepared for the next battle, or even PP for that matter. The items are only going to be mainly useful for when you're in battle as a crutch. So with that's what I've been told, at least. So if that is actually the case, maybe I could watch some videos to see if that's the case as well, but I don't want to be spoiled with their updated teams. So that would be pretty interesting. But regardless, I'm at the max level for my main team, and I haven't changed it. I haven't even swapped out for that Pikachu or grinded anyone else up. I'm going with the team that I have, because they've basically been mainstays, and some of them are memes. I can't get rid of Holy Mackerel. He joined me last time, not Barker Bane, because even though he technically came back in, this is his second attempt. And my champions on my team, of course, Aerodactyl, Argorog. Yeah, it's an inverse of the Nuzlocke that we did, but because PokeMMO didn't work out way back when. So I'm quite hyped for that, and it will be finishing sometime next year, hopefully in the first quarter. Speaking of Pokemon, even though I just mentioned PokeMMO, which is on the Nerd Herd as a group thing, which is also on my channel, we record our own stuff and have it on here. On the Nerd Herd, we have a challenge, a Pokemon Omega Ruby squad lock. A squad lock is basically our Nuzlocke format, but we're all playing the same seed at the same time. But obviously, routes are randomized, so when you go onto a route and you encounter a Pokemon, out of that entire table, we could all bump into different things. So our team building is still, for the most part, different, except for Sizzle, that we revived, and we could teach it Recreate. Just freaking blitz everything with a massive physical buff, and my Spearow has, what was it, Sheer Force, I think it is? That means he does more damage with it by negating additional effects, so if he has that Recreate, he can't do burns or something, or use a move that gives critical hit, it'll just do higher damage in general, which will probably be equated to a crit at that point anyway, but if you get a crit on top of that, that'll be beating the odds. But anyways, we basically are going through the same seed, so all the enemies, all the foes, all the trainers, they have the same Pokemon. We all have the same item pickups. So if I, for example, found an item, I could call everyone else saying, hey, this is useful, or they could say, oh, by the way, for example, Roxanne has a certain thing that's lethal, you might want to train because, you know, I've had a bit of problems. And we're all going by. I mean, I'm probably like an hour behind in terms of progress, but that was because of what happened with Roxanne. I wasn't trying to say what it was to spoil it. In fact, I'm just picking out moments that did happen so far, but not actually spoil what the item or the Pokemon was that caused problems or what was actually worth going back for. Watch it, because, my god, those were hype moments. But yeah, it was crazy, and I was just like using the item finder to find all the items possible. Like, they're randomized, they could be useful, and it's like everyone was just pushing ahead, and I'm just like, I'm just down here. But yeah, it's because of that everyone had to come back, so I catch up a little bit, and I want to continue on that because that's really fun, and it's like a unique take on the Nuzlocke format. And it's not like a replacement for Pokemon Emerald, because I do want to do that at some point, but probably not immediately after Fire Red, because we've got Scarlet starting soon, and we've already got that going on as well. So let's clear things up a bit. Speaking of clearing things up a bit, it's been an absolute nightmare, because every time I play multi-worlds, they don't freaking work, or they're not stable. We've got a four-way multi-world going on with Super Linkario, Panda and Blue Hydro-Man 17, and ironically enough, Blue's the only one who hasn't actually had a freeze or a break so far. Meanwhile, everyone else, mostly me and Super Linkario, have been having problems, different kind of problems. We've crashed the most, but Panda-Man's also had crashes that basically daisy chain onto me, and then everyone stops me from using my items somehow. Like, I just can't shoot an arrow out of my bow. I can get the bow out, can't seem to find any arrows in my full quiver, or I'm trying to pull out a bomb, every single one's defused, so I'm just trying to relight the bloody match. Like, this is talking about time we're talking about, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. It's like, I'm just not able to do things, and it takes us like an hour and a half just to get one hour video done, and we do them in hour spurts to get through quicker. I think we're going to have to stop doing intros. I think when we're ready to go, we just all hit record, and we're just like, 3, 2, 1, go. And, yeah, I mean, serialized anyway. And all of our worlds, like my footage is on my channel, Something Carlos is on her channel, Panda-Man's Blues on Blues. Mainly because that, yes, we are all in the same pool, but how a multi-world works is that instead of randomizing a ROM, and you're all on the same ROM, working together in a co-op like you would online, because you're sharing the same inventory, basically. In this case, we are all sharing the same massive item pool, because all 4 of our games have been randomized into each other. So that's 4 games with 4 item pools, but they've been meshed together. And because of that, I ended up finding almost everybody's bigger on swords, and yet they can't seem to find mine. And a giant's knife, but they won't let me have it. Which is mean, because at least I could probably slap something super hard if I'm struggling, but I probably won't, because I've got all the spells, and for a long while, didn't have any magic. So, you can see how a bit chaotic it is, but that's not the main problem. The problem is that it just keeps crashing on us, and it's such a pain. And even though Sibling Corio and Panda-Man have tested it out multiple times, it just keeps breaking, and I don't know why. So I just don't have the best time with it, really. I don't know if it's any of my mods that are breaking it, but I doubt it is, because it's not just me having problems. Meanwhile, Blue's not having any problems, and I don't know what he has on, so it's a bit weird. But whenever we can continue on that, it's a pain. However, I'm going to have to eat my words at some point, because Paddy's actually made something for the channel, which is a little bit of a sprinkle there. and that's where I'm leaving it at. But because of that, I'm basically feeling the obligation that I will have to eventually go back to, let's say it now, Pikmin 2 Kaizo Edition. It's still on my old laptop. Since I've had this thing, I haven't moved it over, I haven't set it up, I haven't put in the Gecko code, but yeah, I think it might be time for me to actually get on doing that and do my grinding. Obviously, I want to focus on cleaning up mostly with projects before starting anything new, but all of these are pretty much like here and there whenever they happen. If I decide to do Ed and Eddie, that's a stable thing. I can just record and get them up. So it's something simple because it's blind. I don't know what I'm doing, and obviously it's a PS2 game that'll be done for the PS3. But I haven't actually mentioned much about Pikmin 2 Kaizo here. It's still blind, and considering the past few years, I haven't really been feeling the need to deal with random challenge bullshit that'll make me mad. But again, that's neither here nor there. I am a man of my word. I will finish it. And I'm hoping to get at least started this year. Honest, I swear. Speaking of getting back to something, I think there is a game that has been a bit neglected, which I feel a bit bad about, but it's had a massive update from the author, so hopefully, cross my fingers, if there is a physical edition, I'll wait until that comes out first, so then we can move it over to something that's not my PC, so it can travel with me, and then it will never be left alone again. If I haven't mentioned anything about this year's current projects that have or have not happened, I'm saving that for the update video, because the update video beforehand was the year of rebooting. So I'll see you guys next time for when I start talking about how that went and what other new things that I do actually want to be working on at some point, or what's coming up that either I have no control over or are going to happen. So we're still being busy, not fully back onto my usual speed. That's mainly due to work and personal life. That happens the older you get. But I've still got like a massive backlog of games that I haven't actually played myself. I need to get to that. So I'll be talking about that soon. So I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday season, and I'll see you guys for that video as well as the next year. See you guys then.